Welcome to the He's Got Issues Independent Comics Edition number 138.3. I'm John Cooney here to preview new independent comics being released September 10th, 2014, beginning alphabetically with Boom Studios and Black Market number 3 of 4. The worst thing you can do in a black market business is get sloppy, and Ray has found himself at the beck and call of two very crooked cops, with the biochem noose tightening and the crew forced to nab a gamma-level super or face termination. Has Ray reached the end of his rope? Next we have Hexed number 2. After unwittingly unleashing Eves from the empty garden, there's only one place Lucifer can go to set things right, and that's the Shade itself. And as Lucifer traverses the underworld in search for a cure, Val and Reyna become pawns in a much larger game. We've also got Suicide Risk number 17. With the truth revealed of who Requiem is and how he came to be Leo Winters, the Winters family believes the worst is behind them. However, even in the middle of the long-earned family reunion, an even greater threat is beginning to emerge. What is the fault line, and what does it mean for Leo Winters, his family, and the entire planet? Next, we have Teen Dog number 1 of 8. Skateboards, football games, prom. Your teenage years have got nothing on the raddest dude that's ever graced a denim jacket. Written and illustrated by Jake Lawrence of Time Cowboy. Join Teen Dog and his best friend Mariella as they tackle typical teen life with a manic twist. Growing up is an adventure, and you might as well rock it. We've also got Thomas Alsop number 4 of 8. Thomas Alsop calls on an old friend from his rock and roll days. Before reality TV made him famous, Thomas worked his magic at CBGB. In the hollowed halls of punk rock holds a secret from Thomas's past, and it's time to uncover it. And we've got Wild Zen number 1. When a rural English community of the 1930s is the victim of an alien invasion, the residents' lives are upended by the harsh realities of life and death violence. Led by the town's outsider and retired war veteran, they will have to rally together to uncover the secret of their invaders and ultimately fight back. From Dark Horse Comics, we've got Abe Sapien number 16. Abe returns to the place where Phoenix shot him, and things get worse when a mysterious gas begins to leak from the ground. Pursued by a crew sent to bring him down, he runs into two different apocalypse cults, one of which worships Abe. From the pages of Hellboy, major new arc starts here. Next we have Dark Ages number 2 of 4. As hell comes forth from the skies above, the heathen war band seeks refuge and redemption in a fortified monastery. But inside lies a dark secret that could ensure their salvation or seal their fate. From the creator of Vertigo's The New Dead Guardians, Dan Abnett is a 7-time New York Times best-selling novelist. We've also got Prometheus Fire and Stone number 1 of 4. When the Prometheus never returned from her fateful journey to LV-223, the questions surrounding the origins of man went unanswered. Now a new team of explorers seeks to uncover the dark mystery that holds not only the fate of the original mission, but possibly their own damnation. Ties directly into the hit motion picture, first issue in a blockbuster crossover event. Next we have Terminator Salvation, The Final Battle number 9 of 12. The killer Thomas Parnell's control over the Terminator army has brought both Skynet and the human resistance to their knees. With all of John Connor's other allies fallen or displaced in time, only he and the resurrected Marcus Wright remain to stand against this psychotic oppressor. J. Michael Straczynski and Pete Woods bring the destruction, celebrating 30 years of the Terminator. We've also got Whedon 3-way one-shot. Jump into the comics of Joss Whedon with a value-priced issue that contains 3 number 1s of the newest Whedon series, Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 10, Angel and Faith Season 10, and Serenity Leaves on the Wind. Whedon's best creations live on in comics right here at Dark Horse. Joss Whedon Comics, 3 for $1. And we've got X number 17. When Lee Ferguson's high school friend becomes the latest victim of the Skin Traders, a mysterious band of surgically modified thugs who slice skin from their abducted victims, she knows that X is the only person in Arcadia who can stop them. The only question is, who's got thicker skin? With a shocking Easter egg for longtime readers, perfect jumping on point for new readers. From Dynamite Entertainment, we've got Captain Action Cat, the Timestream Catastrophe number 4 of 4. Final issue, Cats, Cats, Everywhere Cats. Oh yeah, what's this? The beloved superheroes of the Dark Horse universe are now cats? How can this happen? What does this mean to our heroes who are lost out of their time? It can only lead to one thing, a big battle in beautiful downtown Skokie. Dr. Evil Cat versus X versus Ghost versus the Phantom Lemur? And how does Lady Action fit into this? Captain Action Cat meets modern-day Action Cat as the Silver Age meets the all-yeah age of comics in this epic climactic conclusion to the crossover event of the year. Join us for the epic finale from the awesomeness that is Art Baltazar and Franco, highly recommended by Franco's mom. Next we have Captain Victory and the Galactic Rangers number 2. Joe Casey and Nathan Fox are continuing his run on one of Jack Kirby's greatest creations, Captain Victory. The search for Captain Victory continues. This time they are bringing with them the special guest artist, Michael Fife. Across space and time, the crew of the Dreadnought Tiger try to unravel the events of the last issue. Where is Captain Victory, and what new cosmic adventure has he found himself facing all alone? We've also got Chastity number 3, as Chastity wrestles with her guilt over her parents' murder and her new unlife. Her already fragile world gets shattered when she faces her most bloodthirsty enemy, her little brother. Can Chastity survive the brutal onslaught of her soulless sibling? Will she have the strength to do what needs to be done? Meanwhile, Alice continues the flagrant abuse of her vampiric powers and attracts the attention of the mysterious council. All this and Chastity's only living relatives arrive to take her home, but in what world does Chast belong? Next we have Dawn Vampirella number 1 of 6. Our story begins when the silver-tongued demon Masadic tricks and kidnaps both Dawn and Vampirella, written and drawn by Dawn creator Joseph Michael Linsner. He tells them that they are the two most beautiful women in all the worlds, these two bad girls. Their demon host demands a catfight to see who is best suited to his purposes, but the lady suggests something more feminine, a storytelling contest. Together they take us to the bloody shores of Draculan, a post-apocalyptic New York, and to worlds beyond imagination. Only Ravana knows what rewards and punishment await the winner and the loser in this duel of horror hostesses. We've also got Jennifer Blood, Born Again, number 2 of 5. Stephen Grant, the well-known writer of classic Punisher stories, as well as the creator and writer of Boom's Two Guns, continues his bold new direction for Jennifer Blood. It's blood in the streets as the false Jennifer Blood lays waste to the mobs of Los Angeles, unaware she's on a collision course with the real one, fresh out of retirement and polishing her violent skills while racing westward down America's highways. Next we have Lady Zorro, number 3 of 4. Lady Zorro thinks she finds a moment of rest in Chumash Village, but mercenary soldiers are everywhere and the storm clouds of war are gathering more rapidly than she can imagine. What started out as a simple caper to steal back an artifact has become a suicide mission, where at stake is the survival of the Spanish and native ways of life in Alta California. As Lady Zorro is increasingly backed into a corner, she realizes the only escape is direct confrontation. And worse, at this time when she needs to be her most dispassionate, her most rational, along comes a handsome soldier. We've also got Magnus Robot Fighter number 6. Welcome to the Uncanny Valley, an incredibly illegal sex and death club where humans fight one another in a pit, and whoever loses has their dead body parts taken by Tranmechs to add to their own robo-bodies. It's gross, so Magnus has to try really hard not to lose. Mechanized mayhem from Fred Van Lint and Corey Smith. Next we have Robotech Voltron number 5 of 5. Final issue. The Drool Witch Hagar uses her black magic to exploit a critical vulnerability of robotechnology and the SDF-1 itself. The clock is also ticking as the celestial window to return home is about to close for the displaced crew of the Super Dimension Fortress and the Lion Force. The only hope to save their universes from the rip in the time-space continuum may lie with the return of Rick Hunter and a long-lost piece of Voltron. This astounding conclusion to the epic mecha crossover is not to be missed. We've also got Shadow Year 1, number 10 of 10, special extra-sized finale issue, 30 pages of story and art. Join Eisner Award-winning artist Matt Wagner and art team of Wilfredo Torres and Vernon Wagner for the pulse-pounding conclusion of this landmark series. Excitement fills the night as the Shadow finally faces off with his longtime nemesis, Dr. Zorn, a psychic villain whose powers and training rival that of the Night Master himself. Will Lamont Cranston's dark-cloaked alter ego find the strength to defeat the vile and consumptive Zorn? Will Margot Lane fall to the flying bullets and psychic traps of the Shadow's enemy? And will the reporter finally manage to unmask the mystery behind New York's crusader for justice? New readers and longtime Shadows fans alike will thrill as all is finally revealed as the Shadow's fledgling adventures against crime draw to a close and his longtime crusade truly begins. Next we have $6 Million Man Season 6, number 6. We can rebuild him again. The startling conclusion of the first episode of the $6 Million Man in 4 decades is finally here. Steve and Jamie must stop this strange alien entity from completing its transmission, but how can they overcome the nest of creatures that now inhabits NASA? Oliver Spencer's final desperate gamble may give them the chance they need to end the damage caused by Maskatron, but at what cost? And somewhere in the California wilderness, Bigfoot awakens. Stay tuned for the thrilling conclusion of It Came from Deep Space on this bionic publishing network. We've also got Terminal Hero number 2. Peter Milligan continues with his vision of Terminal Hero, Rory always thought he was a good man, but that seems like a long time ago. Still reeling from the terrible side effects of treatment Q and the fact that he killed his best friend, Rory's life now takes an even darker and more complicated turn when he's approached by two members of British intelligence. After a strange meeting with what's left of the man who developed treatment Q, Rory is desperate to escape from the violent new life he's being forced to lead, but is he willing to pay the price? And we've got Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Echoes number 3 of 4. The scope of Crow's activities widens by the minute, and Sam is going in alone. He'll be put to the test as his past deeds race up to catch him, and his team can only watch and hope that Sam has the grit to endure what he faces. From IDW Publishing, we've got G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero number 206. With Torpedo's team barely escaping their mission with their lives, G.I. Joe takes a moment to honor the mission's sole casualty. But Cobra gives the Real American Hero team no time to rest as they move their latest nefarious plot forward. Never a dull moment in G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero number 206. Next we have Judge Dredd Anderson's Psi-Division number 2 of 4. In an all-new adventure from Cassandra Anderson's early days in Psi-Division, writer Matt Smith and artist Carl Critchlow present King of the Six Sectors. The theft of cursed Earth artifacts has led Anderson deep into the swamplands near Texas City, where she grapples with mutant creatures and a heart of darkness, plus Judge Dredd. We've also got Mars Attacks Art Gallery number 1. This special ad-free art gallery issue presents an out-of-this-world array of hand-drawn Mars Attacks card art captured by IDW Limited. The rare art in this book comes from a wide array of Topps, IDW, and sketch card all-star talent done in the grand traditions of Mars Attacks trading cards. Next we have My Little Pony Friends Forever number 9. Granny visits an Apple convention and is dismayed to see the Flim Flam brothers are up to their old tricks. Only the two are no longer working together. Something has divided the brothers. It will be up to Granny to mend hurt feelings, but will she want to? We've also got Popeye Classics number 26, the glorious grand full of guffaws reprints of the mad genius Bud Sagendorf Popeye Comics continues. Next we've got Rotten Ruin number 1, brand new adventure set in the world of Rotten Ruin, written by New York Times bestselling author and multiple Bram Stoker Award winner Jonathan Mayberry. This all-new storyline continues events from the award-winning series of novels. In Rotten Ruin Warrior Smart, we meet Benny, Nix, Lila, and Chong as they travel through the Sierra Nevada mountains, just one faltering step ahead of zombie hordes and one giant leap behind the plane flying through the sky that set them on their journey of discovery. We've also got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles New Animated Adventures number 15. Leonardo is determined to whip his brothers into shape and create the mother of all obstacle courses. Unfortunately, he's captured by Fishface, who turns Leo's course into a death trap. Will the other turtles be able to rescue Leo? We've also got Transformers Primacy number 2 of 4. Decepticons assemble. The war for Cybertron begins in earnest. Megatron brings together the deadliest of his troops for an unbelievable assault on the Autobots, and the Transformers world is shaken to the core. And we've got Weird Love number 3. The Mad Wacko third-ish has these crazy stories planned. Gangster's Girl, Love, Honor, and Swing Baby, Weep Clown Weep, yes, warning, sicko clown love, You're Fired Darling, and more. Sexy or sexist, great or pure funk, love to hate these or hate to love them, you decide. From Image Comics, we've got 68 Homefront number 1 of 4. In 1968, the horrors of the Vietnam War invaded every American living room. On February 13th of that year, a new war began, bringing horror and hunger home to stay. 68 Homefront returns the series to the American heartland as the small, sleepy town of Harbinger, Pennsylvania, home of the Heralds, in the first two-issue story arc, 68 Peace and Love. Fresh accident victims sit upon the mortician slabs. A busload of visiting athletes rises from wet red asphalt to become an army of the damned, and Jenny Love, homecoming queen, cheerleader, and girl next door, prepares to reveal her deepest secret to the world, a secret in the form of leather-clad town bad boy Johnny Love. Next we've got Copperhead number 1. Welcome to Copperhead, a grimy mining town on the edge of a backwater planet. Single mom Clara Bronson is the new sheriff, and on her first day she'll have to contend with a resentful deputy, a shady mining tycoon, and a family of hillbillies. And did we mention the massacre? Writer Jay Farber and the art team of Scott Godlewski and Ron Riley bring you this gritty 24th century western with an extra long first issue for the regular price of $3.50. We've also got Death Vigil number 3 of 8. Training Day in Death Vigil, you get a magical weapon with no instruction manual, and an unholy abomination from beyond the sane universe is advancing. What do? Helps to have an immortal and powerful dinosaur transforming raven by your side. Next we have East of West number 15, the Great Beast, the son of Xiolan and Death, faces the Horsemen and becomes everything that the message foretold. The apocalypse marches on in East of West number 15. We've also got Ghosted number 13. Is New York the most evil place on Earth? Where else would you expect Jackson and his new assistant to find a man selling death wishes? Next we have Howtoons Reignition number 2. Tuck and Celine search the post-energy wasteland for their missing parent, but when they discover they aren't alone in civilization's ruins, they'll need new Howtoons projects to protect themselves. We've also got Imperial number 2. All tremble before the evil that is Medrex and his... you know what? Who gives a damn? Mark's wedding to Kate is looming and he still hasn't learned how to fly or gotten a superhero costume yet. But it's Imperial who gets a lesson when Mark teaches him how to make s'mores. Jab it, heat it, stack it, squish it. Now that's worth saving the world for. Next we have Invincible number 114. The death toll finally reaches its end. Who will rise from the ashes? We've also got Lazarus number 11. Conclave Part 1. For the first time in 65 years since they divided the world, the 16 families are gathering again. For Malcolm Carlyle, it's an opportunity to identify and eliminate his enemies. For Jacob Hawke, it's an opportunity to exact revenge, and for Forever Carlyle, it's the first step in discovering the truth about who she is and what she's destined to become. Next we have Morning Glories number 40 with the solicit Science. We've also got MPH number 3 of 5. Rosco, his girl Rosa, and pals Chevy and Baseball mount a super speed-fueled crime spree that even the feds can't stop unless they accept the help of a detainee so dangerous they've had him in lockup for 30 years. The all-new Miller World universe zooms ahead with Miller and Fegredo's high-octane adventure tale. Next we have Prophet Strike File number 1, a who's who of Prophet universe with a comic history of the Earth Empire and biosheets pulled from the deepest corners of the known universe, of space gods, aliens, and the distant worlds that contain them. We've also got Sheltered number 11. The final arc begins here. You can only pile up so many bodies before the outside world starts to notice. Next we have Spread number 3. It's chow time at Fat Jack's Cannibal Cafe. We've also got the Superannuated Man number 3 of 6. The theory of evolution is turned on its proverbial ear when a demented scientist Warthog and his lizard assistant begin performing visceral experiments on our hapless protagonist, He. Next we have Velvet number 7. The second arc continues. While Velvet's been on the run, Arc 7's top men have been hunting her. Now they have her trail, and soon she'll be in cult sights. And we have The Walking Dead number 131. A Journey Begins. From Valiant Entertainment, we've got Archer and Armstrong number 24, Archer and Armstrong and Mary Maria. Archer's beloved foster sister and world-class hit woman for hire, Mary Maria, takes center stage for the very first time in a high-stakes tale of hot-headed teenage temperament and tantalizing target practice. In search of her own origins, get ready to see the world through the eyes of Valiant's number 1 knife-wielding love interest, just as the world of Archer and Armstrong hurtles towards next month's colossal issue 25 Game Changer. We've also got Armor Hunters Harbinger number 3 of 3. Harbinger Team Up. Mexico City just became ground zero for the Armor Hunters' invasion of Earth, and the runaway army of superpowered soldiers called Generation Zero needs to bring in backup. Better call the Renegades? But when powerhouse brawler Torque and lighter-than-air free spirit Zephyr join the fight, things are about to go from bleak to brutal as the Earth's first extraterrestrial invasion force unleashes an engine of global destruction with one sole purpose: to terminate with extreme prejudice. And in trades, we've got Harbinger Volume 5, Death of a Renegade trade paperback. The Renegades thought that they could get their old lives back. They thought they could bring down Toyo Harada and the Harbinger Foundation. They were wrong, and now one of them will die. Once again, Peter Stanchek and the Renegades are on the run with the combined forces of the Harbinger Foundation and Project Rising Spirit closing in on all sides. This time, however, the team's newest member, Axe, has left a trail of leaked classified information that could win the day, but also put the few loved ones they have into dire peril. Collecting Resistance and Death of a Renegade from Harbinger 20 to 25, a renegade will fall as New York Times best-selling creators Joshua Dysart and Clayton Henry unleash a major milestone for Valiant's acclaimed teenage super team. Okay, so that's a look at some of the top independent publishers this week, but there's still plenty of other books out as well, so be sure to check out my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com to see both the Marvel and DC videos for this week, as well as my usual roundup of all my favorites for the week with a little more depth and insight than you get here. And if you like these videos, be sure to let me know by leaving a comment and subscribing. You can also follow He's Got Issues on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Tumblr to see everything I'm reading as I read it. So until next week, I'm John Cooney. and I've got issues.